Welcome to LoyalTV. Join us in Guthrie, Oklahoma, as we share the story of Helen Churchill.
Well, Helen Churchill Candee, she came to Guthrie in 1895 to secure a divorce from her alcoholic, cheating, abusive husband. She brought her 2 kids, Edith and Harold, and a couple of maids with her. At the time, Guthrie was the place for the quickie divorce. And quickie, I mean, you had to live here for, 90 days, 3 months. And she stayed here for her 3 months, and then actually she ended up being here for about 3 years. Once she, cut ties with her husband, she had to support herself. She did that through writing articles for the popular magazines of the day.
The influence of matrimony on labor is felt by all thoughtful women.
This is how she supported her family, through journalism.
And no amount of logic nor sociological study will alter the fact that the greatest barrier to women's success in business is the specter of marriage.
She was very much part of that social structure of Guthrie. Guthrie being the seat of government, there was a lot of people here that had connections in the East, and she was prolific. There's lots of examples of her work.
Oklahoma, the land of prosperity, sunshine, and brotherly love, has a thorn in its side.
When she had come here, the frontier had only been closed for 5 years. And so everybody looked at the people in the West as, outlaws and gamblers, these people that are of lower moral standards than the people in the East.
That cause of pain and irritation is the failure of her sister states, and especially of those in the East, to recognize the truth concerning her.
So that's the perception that the people had. They didn't realize, we had opera houses and telephones and, anything that you could consider civilized, it was here and it was available to anybody that was here. And I think that she may have felt the same way until she came out here and spent a few years with those people and realized that these are the Americans that built the country. This is how they are. This is what they do. These are the things they aspire to. 1901, she publishes a book called An Oklahoma Romance.
Paul rode easily along the road, on the horse which helped him make his history, thinking on all that had happened in the past 12 months. Just a year before he had made the run, that had been a time of excitement, of triumph, of victory.
The novel tells the story of a dispute over a claim between a wealthy, politically connected man and a man that's not. And so it's kind of about the injustice of this system of the little guy versus the big guy. And in it is this love story between this man and woman that meet upon the side of a river. And a lot of the people in Guthrie, when they read the book, they recognized themselves, because she'd spent about 3 years living here amongst these people. And, she developed very close relationships with a lot of them. Here's a lady that did not accept the fate that she was born with. She went out and created her own fate. And because of that, she had a lot of exciting adventures. She came to a new territory and was part of building it into a civilized society. She traveled the world. She writes a book on Angkor Wat. People didn't even know what this place was before she wrote this book. One of the big things that she's very well known for is that in 1912, whenever she was writing her book on tapestry in France, she gets a telegram from her daughter that her son was injured in a plane crash. And so she books passage back to the United States to come and, see to her son and take care of him. And she books passage on the Titanic. So here she is on this unsinkable Titanic, and what happens when they're crossing the ocean? It sinks. And she ends up in lifeboat number 6 with the unsinkable Molly Brown, another famous woman that was a Titanic survivor. And I think a lot of that comes with that initial act of coming to Oklahoma Territory to get a divorce.
Join us next week for more of the best Oklahoma stories you've never heard here on LoyalTV.